This is DearMamaSal's, and it is a foggy Monday morning, 7 degrees Canadian and 45 American. The autumn leaves are everywhere. We've now got to the stage where the Canadian maple leaves are falling absolutely everywhere. You can probably see them behind me. Just beautiful. And I keep thinking of Nana, who slipped on the wet leaves and did herself a mischief. Did really bruise a lot of her body. So I do ask you to be careful if it's that sort of condition where you are. And remember, there's slippery little buggers, those things. So walk with care in the beauty. We had a busy weekend, lots of broadcasting, and we met, a house that was there last week is demolished this morning. It's a house on a corner lot here. I've been watching for, all the time I've been here, and it's been rented out, but it's in very poor condition, so obviously it was just a rental prior to the value going up and selling it. And a corner lot, you know what that's worth, and a corner lot on what is now an important crossway. We're probably going to get a new gas station or something like that because it's a big lot, or we're going to get new development. Anyway, where was I? A very busy weekend and great fun with the websites, with the broadcast rather. And we met a lot of new people, which was awesome. And I want to give a shout out this morning to Sharon from the UK, who has for months, I think, been battling to try and get to one of the broadcasts, and who made it yesterday. And she just pressed the right button at the right time, I guess, and got in. And so we're very proud of her. And what she found out was you laugh a lot. And one of the reasons you laugh a lot is because my viewers have a warped sense of humor. They really do. They spend an awful lot of time making me laugh a lot. And that gets to be very funny, apparently. So, but we also got to meet really nice people like Alex, who we hadn't met before. And Alex joined us and turned out to be somebody who had really struggled in his life, a young man in his 20s, but he'd really struggled with some pretty tough stuff in his early life and some pretty tough results of that in his teens, and then who decided to change his life around. And he was telling us that he did that by going to the gym. And he's now an MMA, for those who don't know, that's mixed martial arts, an MMA fighter in his spare time. And he's got a job and does everything, but he learned to control his emotions and everything else just by learning a new art, and that was the art of MMA. And he also gets to release that anger and everything else just in a competitive way rather than a way that could harm people who were not expecting it. So, but the good news is, what a big heart. It's amazing. You meet somebody, and if you saw him in the street, you probably wouldn't know that he had a heart that big unless you watched his eyes. But I was amazed at how many people he reached out to. Good for you, Alex. I'm very, very pleased to meet you, as I'm sure everybody who was on the broadcast. However, it was a long broadcast that day. It was 5.5 hours. And what happened, of course, was because of what Leslie had done she's our agoraphobic who has a fear of going outside, and she'd gone outside the week before, as you know. I made a commitment that I would not snack during any of the broadcasts this weekend. Now, everybody knows Sal snacks non-stop during the broadcasts. You know, it's a given. She drinks ice water and snacks. It's just like, and she breathes, you know, it's that common. So to do a weekend of broadcasts without any snacks was quite a challenge for me. And to do a 5.5-hour one without any snacks was very difficult. And what I did was, halfway through, I actually called a break so that I could go and have a snack. And of course, everybody, it's interesting how this happens, right? Because everybody that wanted me to stay on and not take the break was saying, no, just get a snack and we won't tell her. And I said, I'm sorry, my integrity doesn't do that. I gave a commitment. And as long as I'm capable of keeping it, I will. Oh, don't worry, we won't tell her. I said, no, she won't know. She's not here. She didn't come on today. And I'm going, but I know. And I wonder how many of you relate to that. You know, integrity is not about whether you get caught or not. Integrity is because you gave your word. And so it was really cute. And so I called the break, and I just left them talking in the broadcast room, and I went and had an apple. And a much needed pee, to be quite honest. But it was really, really cute. So it was a fun weekend. We've never before had that many visitors in Tiny Chat, and visitors that stayed and benefited, or they weren't trolls. They weren't trying to cause trouble. They were people that were genuinely interested in what we were doing, and quite a few people were quite surprised that we were funny, and that not only were we funny and therefore entertaining, but also we were doing, we're helping people that were in between. So that caused us to get to be the top viewed show. Now, there's a downside to that, because if you're the top viewed show, more people come in, and that means more trolls. And trolls being the baddies, like disrupt you, use foul language, and do stupid things. So it was a catch-22. We were grateful to get the new people, because we wouldn't have met people like Alex and Esko and various other people had that not happened. But we also got more trolls. So, like in life, you get the good with the bad. You don't get one side, you get both. But it was good fun. So I'm really looking forward to a very positive week this week. For those of you who wanted it, I have opened up the page on the DearMamaSal's.com website. I've opened up the Freebie page, and I put my name there only because I wanted to start it. And here's the idea. I'll repeat it again for those of you who don't know. If you have a particular thing in life that you collect or would like to collect, you're going to need a post office box, because we don't want anybody putting their address there. But all you do is you put your post office box and your screen name, please don't put your real name, and then the post office box you would like to have people send stuff to. And then also let me know what it is you want to collect. And send that information to me at DearMamaSal@gmail.com. DearMamaSal@gmail.com. And then I will add you to our freebie page. And then if it's your birthday or if it's Christmas or whatever, and if somebody that you know on the Dear Mama Sal's site feels like doing it, there are no obligations here whatsoever, they will know where to go to find out what it is that you like in life. And some of you collect fridge magnets, and some of you collect keychains, and some of you collect whatever. And then it gives people an opportunity, if they'd like to send you something. And it was so cute because I know that somebody said when we first talked about this, yeah, but sometimes it costs you more to send the thing than it is the value of the thing. And that's true. That is absolutely true. But I would also remind you that the value of receiving something is greater than the amount of money you pay. So this is really for people who would like to do this. There's absolutely no have-tos about it. It's not a condition or anything, no. It's just like for those of you who would like a bit of fun. And also, look at it this way. If it costs you $100 a year to rent a box, I don't know what it costs you to rent a box where you are, but let's say it's $100 a year. And you only got one keychain out of it. Would it be worth it? The fun of it? I don't know. But there is a possibility that you could end up with an awful lot of keychains. An awful lot of keychains. So you might want to add, you might want to update that every now and then if you find you got more than your fair share of keychains and you'd now like to consider, saving gold coins or something. And also be aware, and this is the thing I want to put up a warning, and I know I've talked about this before, but I want to keep talking about it because it's important. Everybody laughed because they said, well, Sal will be asking for licorice from around the world because I rather like licorice. But you understand there is a risk when you talk about food. It could be contaminated. All sorts of things could be possible. So I don't want to put fear in where it doesn't deserve to be, but on the other hand, I want to make that a healthy reality. So you accept the risk. And I should really put a disclaimer on there on that one. Thank you for thinking of that, Sam. Anyway. But I thought, for some of you, it could be really a fun thing to do. And for some of you, you'll never do it, and that's okay. Absolutely okay. At least one person said, I'm going to put cheese and wine from around the world. Can you imagine? Really funny. So, I don't know if any of you have noticed, but the fog has not burnt off on this trip to work this morning. I am now at a higher elevation, and the elevation that normally, by the time I get up here, there is no fog. Well, guess what? There is now. There's a lot of fog. It's not terrible, but it's a lot. I can probably see about a block and a half, and that's all. Which for this elevation is very unusual. Alright, so please continue for those of you who haven't done so. If you have any questions that you'd like me to talk about on my morning musings, feel free to let me have them. I will get to them as and when I do or remember, and if I don't remember, just keep reminding me until I do it. It's a great way to make sure I do it is to keep nagging me about it. Because it's always great to actually be talking about something that you'd like me to talk about. And a couple of you have really helped a lot of people just by asking the questions that you did. Because what you understand, I hope, is you're not the only one with the question. You're just the one who bothered to ask it. And if you ask it, then I can give you my input. It's not that I'm right, it's just my opinion. For those of you who are new at watching this, welcome, and thank you very much for doing so. We encourage you, please, to subscribe, and not only do that, but make sure you subscribe to our Facebook page, which is also Dear Mama Sal, Facebook page, and Twitter, if you're on Twitter, because that's where we are inclined to post the broadcast information. And quite a few of us support each other on those two sites. And if you are somebody who's in need of some support at the moment, then let us know about that, and even if you don't come onto the website, and we'll do what we can to get you some moral support. Because what our goal is, and always has been, is to create an extended family of supportive people for people who may be in need of that at any given time. And for the rest of the time, a support group of people who encourage you to do the things you want to do. And for example, a week today, Charlotte will be doing her first 5K run, and we're going to be supporting her mentally, if not physically. In a couple of weeks, Jen's going to get herself married, and we're doing what we can to keep her sane while she gets everything in place in the last few weeks. You know, there's so many things go on in our lives all the time, and I really thank those of you who are supporting me in trying to get back on track with my Battle of the Bulges here. It's very difficult at the moment because I got so many other things going on in my life, and I know I just need to get more discipline. I did a couple of days that were good, and then I forgot to put everything in yesterday, so I need to sit down and get up to date and do that. And I really didn't think I had that much to eat this weekend, and I certainly didn't eat any snacks, as you know, during the broadcast. In fact, I've had very few snacks at all the whole weekend. So I'm hoping that I will get to drop a bit more weight this week. We will see. This is Dear Mama Sal saying thank you so much for watching. It's an absolute blast. We're having a lot of fun. We're making a lot of difference in a lot of people's lives now, and also it is a pleasure to laugh with you so often. So this is Dear Mama Sal saying thank you so much. Bye for now.